And the name of that song, St. James, that is a jazz standard as performed by the Adam Hureau Jazz Trio. I'm very excited to have the three gentlemen from the jazz trio, the Adam Hureau Jazz Trio. The first person, coincidentally enough, is Adam Hureau. Welcome, Adam.
Thanks, Vincent.
We have Riley Williams. Hello, Riley.
Hello.
And lastly, Rabi Phelan. Hey.
It's great to be here.
It's great to have you guys all here. And there are not too many high school bands probably in the region at all that really play at the level you three play. So it's fun to have you here at KRFC. I know Riley and I go back a little ways with, and also with Max and Aiden from the group The Gremlins, and terrific rock band, and you moving into jazz drumming. Yep. Adam, I know from the Channel 10, we had you on, and you were playing, what was the instrument you were playing? Was it saxophone?
Yeah, tenor saxophone.
Tenor saxophone. And both being at Hureau High School at this point, and also all three of you being at Hureau High School. So tell everybody your style of music.
So we are a straight-ahead jazz trio. We do lots of standards, but we put our own twist on it. I wouldn't quite call it free jazz or contemporary, but we like to incorporate lots of funk and other Latin things and just kind of place them in there and do our own thing. So, yeah, that's kind of what we are.
And you guys formed out of being involved in jazz at Hureau High School.
Yes, we're all in Birdland, the top combo, and we've been in Jazz One, our big band, for 1 year now.
This is my third year in the big band, but we've all been in it together once. But yeah, Hureau has a great jazz program, and that's fostered our love and appreciation for jazz.
Yeah.
We can give a shout out to Corey Peterson over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your experience in playing at this point, you're getting pretty active out there, it seems.
I started on piano for a good 8 years or so, and then I started playing trombone in middle school, and then I just recently started playing bass. Max Williams, Riley's older brother, taught me how to play the bass, so I've been playing for about almost 8 months now.
He's picking it up quick, though.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I love it, and it's been a lot of great experiences in this group, learning how to play the bass.
We're here at the Adam Hureau Trio. It's great having quality jazz by three individuals who are still in high school. That's really great. It's such an incredible music and so expressive, and I know that there's so much that goes into it, and you get into improvisation. There's a really deep skill that's necessary to do what you're doing, and I know that you specifically, Riley, and I'm not sure about the other two of you at this point, but even playing over Jay's Bistro.
Yeah. Well, Max has been playing bass there for a while, and Mark Sloniker, shout out to him. He's been just kind enough to let me come and sit in, and I've been learning a lot from that, the whole, quiet jazz scene, and yeah, it's been awesome.
And it's nice of him to have you, but it's also really speaks well of your ability, because he would not invite just anybody to play with him at Jay's.
Yeah.
That's tremendous.
You could say that.
Yeah, that's incredible. Have you two played over there?
I have not gotten a call yet.
Yeah, not yet for me.
Let's talk about some of your musical influences.
There's a lot of people that influence me in jazz, and the thing is like, without those great legends, none of us would be here today. And so, it goes back to Art Blakey and Max Roach. But then there's a lot of younger guys, younger cats that have been influencing me. And Ite Morhi from out of New York, he came to Fort Collins actually and played with Miles Sloniker, and we spent solid couple hours hanging out and talking drums. So it's just great to have some of those guys that be with in person. You can learn a bunch from. So that's really influencing. And
having been in middle school is when I started getting into jazz. Before, I basically listened to classic rock all the time. But having gotten into jazz in middle school, I started to discover some of the great saxophone players like John Coltrane, who's a personal favorite, Sonny Rollins. And those are my main influences. I also play clarinet in the trio, too, on occasion. Benny Goodman is also a big influence of mine, I would say.
For me, it always started when I was pretty young. I didn't even play the bass, and I'd always listen to Paul Chambers' intro on So What off of Kind of Blue, My Ballad of Navis, and I would just listen to that over and over. Didn't even know what instrument it was, and I loved it. And now it's more younger cats, as Riley said. His older brother, Max, listened to him for years, and Miles Sloniker is also a beast of a guy on bass.
And I think I speak for all three of us. I think we share a love for contemporary jazz, too. Some of the new, more modern kind of jazz that's happening in New York. Joshua Redman is a great new tenor sax player that I like. And I think that influences a lot of the music we play, too, kind of playing jazz standards with a kind of a modern twist. Yeah,
definitely.
How would you describe the elements of more contemporary jazz?
It's a little more, I'd say, like funky. It's a little more spacey. It's not straight ahead swing, not just that driving kind of chang, spang-a-lang, spang-a-lang. But it's got, I don't know, it's more spacey, more open. Adam, would you like to say something about that?
I think one of the main things is the fusion of straight-ahead jazz with other genres. Jazz and funk is a big one. Jazz and rock, jazz and classical. That's one of the, probably what I would say is the biggest part of contemporary jazz and what really makes it different from swing or bebop.
Yeah. It's going somewhere. Jazz is always... People are adding their own things to it and own styles, and that's what's awesome about jazz.
Right. And also, I would think that when you're incorporating these other, like the funk and the rock into jazz, you're bringing in a wider audience that way that can get captured by jazz. And once it, grabs them, they may want to do research and find out about some more of the more traditional jazz and so forth.
Yeah, exactly. If we're playing a jazz standard that's hard swing, then we just want to switch to a funk groove in the middle. The audience tends to love that.
It's cool.
It was a fun thing to do.
Yeah, it doesn't allow them to just space out and just, hear the same solo, same swing, same style. We'll change it up every couple minutes. Now we're Latin, now we're triple swing, now Riley's going into polyrhythm. I mean, it's a lot of different stuff, and it just kind of keeps the audience on their toes, I'd say.
And adding our own sound to jazz.
We're here with Rabi, and we're here with Riley, and we're here with Adam, the Adam Hureau Jazz Trio. Tell us about some of your upcoming shows.
Well, we just got finished playing 4 gigs at the Lyric. That was how we started. Those were great shows for us to get better, and now and that opened the door for us to play some bigger gigs. We've got a gig coming up November 6th at Avogadro's Number, downtown. And then we've got a date for the Colorado Room set.
Check our Facebook for more information.
Check our Facebook page for more shows, definitely, yeah.
I'm excited about, Avos is a iconic place.
Oh, yeah.
The Colorado Room, have you seen what they've done outside with their... it's not even like you're outside anymore. They have a huge overhang outside.
Cool.
And they have it kind of walls, temporary walls that they put up, and then like a fireplace. It's incredible over there.
Yeah.
My drums aren't going to crack because they're so cool. Cool.
One of the great things about jazz is how you can really approach a gig different ways. Like you could be, full blast, rather loud.
Yeah.
And, rocking it. You can also be on the other side of the spectrum. You can almost be like ambient sort of music. So I think that's worth touching on because that's something you're consciously looking at as far as marketing yourselves as a trio.
Yeah, we're we have a wide dynamic range, so we can go to places like Avos or a bigger stage and play louder and have that high energy that people are looking for. At the same time, we can still bring that high energy for background music, but play it quieter. So you pretty much get the same show, but we can, anywhere in between, from a small house party where everyone's in the same room and we need to be keeping it quiet, and from like Avos or something like that. So yeah, it's interesting.
And being a trio allows for kind of more intimacy among the music. We tend to kind of have a conversation when we play. A lot of the stuff we do is improvised on the spot and really spontaneous. I'll play something, Riley will play it on drums, or B will pick it up on bass. And that's one of my favorite things about playing a setting like this.
Yeah, I mean, we'll play something in rehearsal on a weekend and then just scratch it, do something completely different at the gig. You
Yeah.
know, we're always looking at each other and just deciding what to do, just playing how we feel.
I think the audience connects to that too. When they see the interaction happening with you, you're also
Mhm.
connecting with the audience and
Of course,
so forth.
yeah.
Yep.
So that's really fantastic. Well, thank you for this first visit here to
Yeah.
KRFC as a trio.
We're stoked to be here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
I would love to do these on a regular basis, kind of follow your progress throughout the
course, yeah.
fall
Sweet.
happening here and into the winter. And by the time spring comes and you guys are still working it and there are these festivals going on, it'll be really cool to
Yeah.
try to incorporate
Yeah.
For sure.
the workings of what you're doing. I wanted to bring up a really funny story we were talking about, going back to Riley. I've been watching you drum for a number of years now. I think it's like
Like
6.
7, yeah, that long.
You were what was your age when you were in the KRFC Red Studio? It's funny because you were with the Gremlins
Yeah.
and you were there with your brother Max and Aiden, and you had a electric drum kit, and we had you. For
Correct.
those that know the previous Red Studio, I was hosting in the Red Studio chair, and you guys were behind me against the wall where we had all the CDs,
Yeah.
and you fit in there. And actually, in listening to it, it sounded great. With the way we had the mics, I didn't know how good it was going to sound,
Yeah.
but remember that?
Yeah, that was a long time ago. That was when we're getting started. It's crazy to think.
And I'm seeing you grow. You look quite taller than coming in today, and you've been so committed. You've been jazz drumming for a long time.
Yeah, I've been playing jazz drums since middle school, but just recently, in the past year, I've gotten a huge interest in jazz. All I do now, ask these two guys, is talk about it, play it, or listen to it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's awesome, and so
That's really exciting because you were interested in, from my knowledge, for a while. So the fact you're saying it's really amplified, your interest is really amplified in that. That's
Yeah.
really exciting. So Adam Hureau Jazz Trio, really great. We have another song off of your SoundCloud. Let's talk about your SoundCloud, where people can find out. about
you can. A link is on our Facebook page at the Adam Hureau Jazz Trio.
And that's ADAMHUREAU.
Jazz Trio. And you can find a link to our SoundCloud with our first EP we did called Duck Song. And it's got just 4 songs on it that we went to a friend's little basement studio and just kicked some songs out, just had some fun, and made our first EP. So you can check those out and see if you like them. So yeah.
Yeah, and shout out to Dave Merritt for helping us record that EP. It's very kind of him.
Yeah.
Dave's a great guy.
He is, yeah, very nice.
Really good. We're going to play another song. And Rabi, tell us the song.
This is going to be Cold Duck Time. It's off our EP. Hope you enjoy it.
Thanks for being here, guys.
Yep, thank you.
Yep, thanks.